It's not even funny anymore what continues to happen to Canada. It's going off the rails completely. It really is. Hey guys, this is Alessia. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I wanted to talk about a story that recently made news. So basically, this 16-year-old boy in Canada named Josh Alexander was suspended and arrested from his Catholic school for expressing and stating an opinion that actually does not go against the Catholic school, but goes against the belief of mainstream media. Let's talk about this, guys, because this is sending out a really big message that everyone needs to hear. Let's get on with it. So guys, this video will consist of me showing you guys the screenshots and talking about it. Also a few video clips of Josh Alexander, his brother, and his friend talking about what they witnessed and what they had to endure. These guys are younger than me, and these three boys got arrested, suspended, unlawfully. Wait a second, I see you. You didn't press the like button yet. You didn't comment or subscribe or even share it. Do that right now. I'll wait. Press it. Don't forget to give this video a like, a comment, share, subscribe for the algorithm. There will be a petition down below that you can sign to help Josh. And please make sure you watch this video till the end. Without further ado, let's get on with this video. I actually decided to reach out to Josh Alexander because I saw him actually on people's podcasts. I reached out to him like a few days ago and I'm like, if he wants to talk on my channel. He hasn't responded yet, but if he does respond and he does want to come on here, I will let him speak his part. So Josh was excluded from attending his Catholic high school because during class debates and on social media, he expressed his Christian beliefs that there are only two genders, that students cannot switch between genders, and that boys should not be permitted into the girls' washroom. He was suspended after trying to host a student walkout because the school refused to address the safety concerns of a female student. The Bible teaches that God created us male and female. Jesus affirmed that when teaching, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female? So after he was suspended from his school, he ended up just staying home. He just went through the suspension. And then when he tried to go back to the school, they said he was trespassing and they basically called the police on him and they arrested him. I will now play some clips from the boys so you guys can hear it for yourself, and then I will state my opinion afterwards.
The presence would be detrimental to the physical and mental well-being of the pupils. That was their quote. And I decided to attend regardless. The exclusion had no lawful basis, and I just decided to attend. After I got home that day, they gave me a trespassing notice and another suspension for attending class. That trespassing notice went till January 31st, and I waited that out. And then I believe I've lost all 4 credits from that semester. And
so that means he's going to have to work extra hard to catch up, and now he's basically at a disadvantage because he's in grade 11. Now he has to catch up. I hope something can be done about that too, because it's affecting his school life and his studies.
At this point, I've already lost 4 credits. I've done absolutely nothing wrong except expressing my beliefs in a classroom format.
Before some people start to pull out the accusations against me, against them, put aside just for a second. And I know I talk very passionately, but these issues, they boil my blood because I don't think people are seeing the bigger picture here and how hypocritical this whole situation is. He never said that these people should be heard. Like, he never said anything hateful against anyone. He just said this is his opinion, this is his belief. They're in a Catholic high school. What he said resonates with these religions. So it's like the hypocrisy behind all of this is that if we don't have a freedom of thought and expression, like, let's pretend that we're on an even playing field and freedom of expression and freedom of speech goes for everyone, because right now we know who it favors. So let's say that it's equal for everyone. Then, like, the people that want to come at everybody, cancel them, get sensitive, they are not going to have a right to do that anymore. Like, I cannot believe people argue and debate this freedom of thought, expression, and speech. And every time you say freedom of speech, they always think the worst. They always think, oh, you're a hater, you're this, you're that. You guys see, freedom of speech affects everybody. Like, we are living in such backwards times. Like, again, put aside what he said about trans, LGBT, just put that to the side, okay? The fact that his opinion is now wrong is he got arrested, he got suspended and arrested. He didn't attack anybody, he didn't come at anybody. And then you see people that are doing drugs at school, coming at people, vandalizing, and nothing happens to them. Slap on the wrist. I'm so riled up because they are going after the wrong people. That's the thing. It gets my blood boiling, and it makes me only think one thing. They know what they're doing, and they're doing this on purpose, because there's absolutely no way that, like, a person who is thinking logically and rationally is going to do this. This is an opinion. And actually an opinion that a lot of people would say is based on facts, what Josh Alexander expressed. I feel for these boys. I do. I was their age not too long ago. I was in high school not too long ago, and I felt ostracized. I felt isolated from my opinions. No, we can't get frustrated and give up. I mean, we can't get frustrated, but we can't give up and let everybody else win, because they gotta sit down and really think for a second. Are you thinking with your head? Are you thinking logically, morally, and rationally? Or are you trying to avoid getting canceled? There's this quote that I love, and I posted it on my channel. I don't remember word for word, but it was basically like, wrong doesn't become right, evil doesn't become good, because it's accepted by a majority of people. Like, I'm looking at this more of like a freedom of thing. Like, some people might look at this as an LGBT issue, but I'm looking at this more of like a freedom of, you know? And you know, freedom of speech isn't even protected here, really. Check out the podcast I made on the alternative channel. I'll leave it in like info cards. We talked a lot about this, but honestly, let's just continue this.
The only thing in effect is this unlawful exclusion order. So I decided to return and start fresh, get my start my new courses, and see how that goes. A few minutes into my time there, on February 6th, I was brought to the office. My lawyer was on the phone at the time, and the principal kind of stood in front of the exit of the office and told me there's some people on the way to see me. And two Ontario provincial police officers walked in. They told me I was trespassing. I explained to them the situation, that I was merely excluded from the school because of my religious beliefs, and I was going to continue to attend as any other student would. And they read me my rights, escorted me out of school, and put me in the back of the cop car.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I say this because I know it may seem like I take sides. Like, I don't want people to label me as like in like political terms. Like, I don't want to be labeled. I'm able to really like rationalize and like speak to people. I think the reason why we're getting a lot of outrage here is not just because what they're saying is like what a lot of people believe in. They think it's facts, like men and women. I'm wondering if this happened to like the other side, right? Like let's say the roles were reversed. See, I find this so ironic, because you would think that this would happen with like a student who is like, so like the Catholic belief, let's say just men and women, right? This would make more sense if this was a student who is going against the Catholic belief and they got arrested or suspended, which still would be kind of extreme. People would probably think that makes more sense. But the fact that they are literally they are following along with the Catholic belief and they're suspending them, like, why call it a Catholic high school? Like, people are just like, they're not really thinking anymore. That's the thing. People are not thinking of how things sound, that they're not making sense anymore. Like, just not thinking. So now we're going to look at what happened to his brother Nick and his friend Monty.
Josh, Monty, and Zach run the organization Save Canada. So I was arrested January 31st, I believe, at Parliament Hill. So the PPS, Parliamentary Security, wasn't allowing a group of people with Canadian flags onto the hill. They were trying to argue that the pole was too big. And we pulled out the regulations on the hill, and it wasn't.
He was basically arrested for something like that. So now people protesting is a problem. Like, you guys thought this was over? No, there's another arrest.
In that footage there, that's actually one day after my arrest at the high school. And before the high school incident had even happened, we had an event organized outside the National Arts Centre in Ottawa. We had communicated with police liaison and informed them that we would, in fact, have a protest to the drag queen story time that was happening in the NEC there. So Nick was actually the first to get arrested that day. What had happened is we were at the doors of the NEC, and I had my megaphone, and we were quoting scripture and giving the gospel.
They're going to get arrested for that, right? But then if we got the other side and they're trying to preach whatever they're trying to preach, nothing happens. Because we look at all these protests that happen, and when I say the other side, I mean, like, let's say the opposite of what they're standing for, right? When they do it, no arresting, nothing, because God forbid you arrest them. But then if they do it, it's a problem. When actually, if you look at scriptures in the Bible, it is preaching good things, the good things we have to do in this world. We're living in a backwards time. Y'all, look into this stuff, because seriously, the Bible is prophesizing, is that the word? Like, not predicting, but like, is literally describing everything going on right now. You know what it almost feels like? It's like beating a dead horse. It feels like we're beating a dead horse sometimes. But they probably want us to give up and to just, okay, not let us say anything anymore. Oh, also, a Muslim, a Jewish person wants to read parts of their books. That's cool. No one says anything either. You know, Christians really are under attack. They really are under attack. Why? Think of that.
we got surrounded and attacked, pinned up against the wall. They stole my hat. They hit us a bit. But then police rushed in, and instead of stopping our assaulters, they decided to grab us and throw us into traffic. And then they ended up arresting my brother for being in traffic after they threw him there. And after he had been released, I went to walk back towards my protesters, the people that were on our side, and I was still quoting scripture. I believe it was John 3:16 through the megaphone. I didn't stop using the megaphone, I'd be arrested. And I continued to exercise my freedom of expression and religion. And they grabbed me, cuffed me. In that footage there, you can see they take off my camera equipment, almost $600 in equipment, and they've stolen it. It hasn't been returned. And I was in the cruiser about 2 hours. And then they drove me off into the city.
My friends in other countries are now starting to realize what's happening. Now they're starting to believe me. Now they're starting to listen. I don't think people realize like how serious this stuff is. Like I keep saying it over and over. That it's, you know what? It's like when your parents tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You do it, and then it's like you learned your like. See, I told you so. It's gonna get to that point. A lot of people are starting to listen, but you guys don't be afraid to share your mind, because if we don't get to share our thoughts, we're like screwed. I can't believe that this is something like so many people can't comprehend, you know? But let's just hear the final thoughts from them, because I'm so riled up by this, really. Like, if you guys are watching this, like, kudos to you. Like, to be able to express yourselves in a way that's not hurting anybody, that's not hateful. Like, try to explain to me how they're being hateful, really. How are they being hateful? Because you know what? Even those Tate type of guys who are like, yeah, men can sleep around, but women can't. Even though I don't agree, I don't think anybody should. I don't think they should get suspended and arrested. I don't think they should be put in a cop car for 2 hours. See, people think like, oh, you're just exaggerating. Like, no, this is never going to happen. Well, it's starting to happen now, so.
Anytime anyone stands up or has a backbone to stand up to their agenda, arrest them and allow the mob to attack them and don't do anything about it. It's very clear assault on freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
Absolutely.
And, all of our liberties that our forefathers fought and died for.
Because when I make these videos, I start to be passionate, but know that there's an army of people behind these guys, and there's an army of people behind everybody who is standing for the ability to share their thoughts. So
you are allowed to be Muslim or Sikh. You are allowed to be Christian. You're allowed to be transgender, but you're not allowed to impose or like assault somebody with your beliefs to such a degree to stand up for what you believe in this country. And where have you found the strength to do that?
So this is their final thoughts.
Going out there and seeing how much evil there is in the world, seeing how people act out there, there kind of has to be a force of good. And also my beliefs in my Christian beliefs.
Which you're totally entitled to have. We can have these beliefs.
Just going out there and doing what's morally right. It's not really that complicated to me.
Yep. Exactly.
You got to take a stance. And if adults aren't willing to do it, we're here and we're ready, and we're calling on more youth to do so as well.
I got you guys. Like, literally, if I like see them ever in public, I'd be like, thank you for like being so strong despite them trying to suspend you and arrest you for standing your ground. Again, I'm seeing this as the bigger picture, okay? You guys might see this as like an LGBT trans thing. I'm seeing this as like the bigger picture. Like, if we start getting suspended and arrested for our beliefs, for our opinion, we don't have freedom of anything anymore. We become like these other countries in the world because they can't express themselves, because they can't be themselves. Look at the bigger picture, guys. Look at the bigger picture. So yeah, guys, that is all for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to get this video out to larger audiences. And don't forget to check out the podcast that I made on the alternative podcast. Check them out. It'll be on the end card, or also like the preview I made that's on my channel, which is like the video before this. I hope you have a great day and keep doing what's right. Bye, guys.